Well, this is about to get interesting.
Wagner wants to invade Poland, with Belarus saying Wagner's been stressing them out because they want to invade Poland and that they've been bugging them to strike Warsaw. And Belarus says it's been begging them not to, but they've been having a hard time controlling them. And this is there are very few things that the extremely capable Polish military would enjoy more than erasing every member of Wagner stupid enough to cross their border.
So, for those of you who have not heard about this, let's back up to about about a month ago. Actually, a month ago to the day, depending on when you're watching this, is about 1:20 in the morning on July 24th because I can't sleep. But if we go back a month, Wagner decided to give Putin the middle finger and decided that they were going to invade Russia, go into Moscow, and just raise hell, right? And then they get within about, what was it, 120 miles or something like that, within Moscow, and out of nowhere, Wagner just packs up and goes the other direction. Come to find out that Belarus brokered a deal basically to where if Wagner exiled themselves to Belarus, Russia would give them all full pardons. They can just go about their business, all that fun stuff. But Prigozhin, the leader of Wagner, and everybody else had to exile themselves to Belarus. Now, all of a sudden, the Belarusian government is warning that Wagner is going to invade Poland. Now, here's the interesting thing about this. Wagner was basically implemented by Putin so that way he can have some type of, or some level rather, of plausible deniability. If Wagner goes somewhere and does something, doesn't go according to plan, something messes up, Russia can basically say that they had nothing to do with that whatsoever. So, I have a theory. Now, I'm no expert in this. This is just my personal theory based on what I've seen. But I think this is all just one giant ploy by Putin to start a war with NATO. Hear me out. So if we think about it, Putin has always wanted to bring back the glory days of the Soviet Union. Bringing back the Baltic states, Poland, obviously Ukraine. Bring all those back under Moscow's umbrella, right? But as we've all seen in Ukraine, Putin is not the mighty warrior that he thought he was, right? We've all heard the joke. Russia went from being the second best military in the world to being the second best military in Ukraine to being the third best military in Ukraine to being the second best military in Russia. But knowing the capabilities of Wagner, I would not put it past Putin to use Wagner as a means of invading Poland, right? Just think about it. If Wagner invades Poland but they're doing it as this rebel state not backed by the Russian government, it gives Putin some type of plausible deniability to say, it was not me, it was Wagner. Do not nuke me. Because even though Putin's been the one rattling the nuclear saber, everybody knows, including Putin, say what you will about him, but he's not that stupid. He knows that if NATO ends up going to war with Russia, that there's no way he's going to be able to win conventionally. So, my theory is that he's going to have Wagner invade Poland, so that way he can point the finger at them, not at himself. Then that way, NATO goes to war with Wagner, wipes them completely off the map, and Russia gets away scot-free. Now, tell me, am I crazy for thinking this? Because I mean, does Wagner not know that Poland has been rearming themselves? Like, massively? So, this is one of my favorite YouTube channels, the Infographics Show. They do a lot of informational stuff. Now, in this video, they talk about how Poland has been arming themselves massively. Basically increasing the military spending to 5% of GDP, which is a lot considering that the minimum for NATO is 2%. They're buying all these arms from the United States, mostly from South Korea, and basically just trying to have them be the biggest and baddest military on the European continent. They go more in depth with all of that, but you kind of get the basic idea. So the first half of this video is why Poland is doing what they're doing, and then the second half, around this 5-minute mark, is where they go more in depth about what it is that they're actually getting, and essentially what Wagner may or may not be going up against. Now here's my question for you guys. Like I said, am I the crazy one? Also, we all know that Wagner's going to get wiped off the map, but let me know down in the comments below how long you think they'll actually last. Because, as you may or may not know, Article 5 of the NATO alliance specifically states that an attack on one is an attack on all. We all found that out after 9/11. We got attacked by Al-Qaeda, and so basically the entire NATO alliance decided to go after Al-Qaeda. So if Wagner is dumb enough, or smart enough, depending on who you ask, Putin, Wagner is going to feel the wrath of NATO